Hey there, and welcome to Connect the Dots Learning Center podcast. I'm Stephanie Wagers, your host, and I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're a seasoned therapist, clinic owner, or just starting out, this podcast is your go to spot for insights, tips, and stories that'll help you connect the dots in your practice. Today, I'm honored to welcome Julia Kazak to the podcast. Julie is the mother of two amazing boys, both whom have autism. Her youngest son, Jesse, also has a motor planning disorder known as dyspraxia, which affects his ability to learn and perform motor tasks, including speech. Because of this, he hasn't been able to reliably use his voice to communicate. Determined to help her son express himself, Julia introduced him to a letterboard, teaching him to spell out his thoughts. After months of practice, Jesse became fluent. And for the first time, he could truly share what was on his mind. Seeing this journey unfold, Julia's older son, Dylan, had an idea. What if Jesse could have his own digital letterboard? One that gave him more independence and a voice of his own. So Dylan got to work. He developed the SpellRBoard app, a tool designed to help non-speaking individuals communicate more easily. Julia believes that everyone has the right to be heard. And today, we're talking about how her family's journey is helping change the world, one letter at a time. Can I hear just a little bit about your journey as a mother with your two boys?
Definitely.
Okay.
So yeah, as you said, I have two amazing boys, and they both have autism. So my oldest is Dylan, and he will be 20 this year, and my youngest Jesse will be turning 15. And with Jesse, he actually, on top of autism, he also has a developmental coordination disorder, also known as dyspraxia. So it's the condition that makes it difficult to perform motor tasks and coordination, like tying shoes, like riding a bike, getting dressed. So I think what people don't realize also is that speech is in that category of it's really complex fine motor skills. So he struggles to like say words, and he's considered like an unreliable speaker in that sense.
Okay.
So um, so we knew he had plenty of thoughts. He just didn't have that motoric way of like sharing them with others.
Yeah.
So we started doing a bit of research, and we found using a letterboard and sort of having him use his gross motor and bypassing that fine motor of just sort of using that arm and pointing to letters and
Okay.
practicing that yeah, purposeful motor, and then that's how we are today.
So when you were in therapy, what got you to the point where you're like, I'm going to try a letterboard?
I think it was just the community we have here and just sort of different moms chatting with me and telling me, oh, my son, similar to yours, learned to communicate, and he did this, and you should look into it. So we started our journey about 2 years ago, and that's how it all started.
Okay. And I'm sure there was frustration when it began for your
Yeah,
son.
so I know it was one of those you don't want to give up, and it just seems like, is this going to work? And you get all that hope as a parent, like another sort of thing to try. And we kind of went in a little hesitant, I would say, but as we started, we didn't give up. It was, it made sense. And just getting that encouragement from others and the support, we started and practiced every day. And he got to the level of he's very open now. His communication is amazing. His words are incredible. He's like a poet. It's quite amazing.
Yeah. Had you tried any other AAC devices?
We did try at one point when he was younger, we did try PECs. We tried like
Okay.
a Proloquo, like it had all the PECs on there. It never resonated with him. It just,
Mm.
very simple sort of, I want, it was all just like, what do you want and what do you need? But nothing more than that, right? Like,
Right. He couldn't put his flair on the conversation, right? It was like,
yeah.
yeah, it was just, do they, and I don't know, do they make a mix of both, like kind of the ability to put your flair and then pick pictures to make it quicker?
Um, we don't personally do that. I don't quite know if there's other people who do. I'm not sure. I think
Yeah.
people may use both or have like the letterboard as well as more of like a PEX type system.
Mhm.
For us, it makes sense for him to just get all the letters out and spell.
Yeah. So when you first began and you were trying to introduce the letter system, did you have, how did that look for him? Was it with paper or,
Oh,
you know,
we started with stencils.
pencils? Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
was saying with a pencil, just kind of.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, with the pencil. And it
Mhm.
started with like 3 boards. We went down to like the full 26, and then now he uses I have it here. It's a letterboard, like
Okay.
laminate. Yeah. But
Okay.
he just points, and then yeah, and then I say it out loud. So how that all kind of came about is my oldest son realized, mom's like saying the words out loud or whoever's sort of with him. Wouldn't it be great if he could have his own voice and independence? And that's how the app sort of came about. Yeah.
So the app is on the App Store, right?
Yeah, I can show it to you on here if you like.
Sure, that'd be great. Okay. And then you just touch on the letter and does it say the letter for you?
It does, yeah. So I just put a
Okay.
little bit there. We can kind of, I'll just hit speak.
Hi, Stephanie. Thank you for
Okay.
having me on your podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So will it hold the word until he wants it to go?
Yeah, so you can have the option here. You can do I'll just put new line. So we can do like
D.
it'll say the letters, or you can
Okay.
take out away and just have the word at the end.
N,
So then,
E.
yeah, so then and you hit done and then you can hit speak.
Nice. And he takes this with him everywhere.
Yeah,
So-
now that it's become like his device, yeah, his communication.
Right.
I wanted to show there's different we also did like 8 different color options.
Nice.
Like he likes the black and the contrast with the yellow, but you know,
Mhm.
there's different options for anyone. And
Yeah,
there's
and it's nice and big, so that fine motor component is
yeah, so he tried to keep it very similar to like the laminate board. So it's the
uh-huh.
same placing, so it's an easy transition to the next level.
Well, wow, what a great older brother.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. He also did there were requests for like the QWERTY as well, so he added that as an option. So we also have that as people can do
Okay.
that. It has upper and lowercase, so makes
Okay.
it. And there's also a number board as well. So it has sort of everything I think you would need kind of getting started, and also the symbols.
Tell me what it was like when your son started to be able to communicate more fluently, or just,
It,
what was that like
it
for you? Do you remember the moment?
like goosebumps, I would say. Just I feel like our world turned upside down in the most amazing way. Yeah, I still remember there was one, like obviously it's amazing to just hear his thoughts, almost
Yeah.
for the first time, but just like little things like, I'd offer him, French toast or pancakes, kind of thinking which one would you prefer, and having
Right.
now like the fact that he has 26 letters, instead of just picking pancakes, he spelled to me, I would like pancakes with syrup.
Oh,
And I mean, how would I have known that otherwise? So,
right.
yeah,
Right.
just it's
What
those little moments where you're like, shoot, I wish I knew, but now that I do, we can move forward.
you can move forward. And how old was he when this really started to take off for you guys?
I think it took us about 18 months to really like that practice and
Okay.
get just fluent, like open, I would say. At that point, I think he was around 11 and a half, 12.
Okay.
We started, and then the last year for sure, it's been very just open-ended conversations.
Yeah. What have you noticed have changed with his peers?
I feel like himself, I feel like just people presuming competence, realizing like, there's no intellectual disability there. Like he knows everything, he hears everything, and just being part of the part of sort of the conversation now. He gets to have his input, and yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah. What surprised you the most about your son? Like, I didn't know he would talk like that, or just I didn't know that was, who he is. Is there
I think it
anything?
just, I feel as parents, you play the nursery rhymes because it looks like that's what they want to do, and they get stuck in that motor loop where they can't tell you otherwise or show you that,
Yeah.
like, no. But yeah, he's rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Okay.
Rolling Stones. I'm like, I never would have thought.
Yeah. Yeah. Is he able to kind of show his humor through the board as well?
Yes, he does. And he's also, I find, very poetic. Like he writes poetry.
Yeah.
Just it's very like sort of loving language. It's beautiful.
How long did it take Dylan from start to now where you are to get that app developed?
Probably a few months. He's been kind of
Okay.
working on it. I think he did it secretly too. And one day he just said, "Hey, Mom, hey Jesse, look what I made for you guys." So,
Oh my gosh. Oh my
yeah, it was.
gosh.
You're very, very surprised.
Yeah. And for someone to get the app, can they just go to the app store
Yep.
or okay, which and then we also have the website that they can go to. How much
Yeah.
is it for someone to download the app?
So it's $40 US, and that's just a one-time, like there'll be no hidden fees, no add-ons that you have to
Wow.
pay. It's just straightforward, no registration needed. And he was very big on having it accessible at all times. So no Wi-Fi's needed, like no internet. Like I want to make it affordable. I want to make it accessible to everyone. And I hope we can do that. And yeah.
Is he starting to kind of reap some benefits from it?
Yeah, like I've been kind of just promoting it sort of in that kind of telling people, everyone we know, sort of that kind of our community, and it's been going really well. Yeah. So it's been good. A lot of
Yeah.
good feedback. as well. So yeah.
I know you reached out to me, but have you reached out to other clinics to like kind of show them how they can incorporate it into their world, or are you just
I
starting
started
that
to.
process?
Yeah,
Just
I just feel
starting
like
that process. Okay.
we just went live, I think, in January. So it's only been, yeah, it's very new, but definitely spreading the word. That's the goal.
And how do they incorporate this SpellRBoard into therapy?
So it's great that we can, I think before, like, you're kind of just guessing. Let's feel like that's how it's been for like 12
Yeah.
years. We're
Yeah.
always guessing as to like, does he like this? Is he enjoying it? 'Cause sometimes his body and his brain, there's that disconnect. So it looks like he may not love something, and meanwhile he's like, this is the best thing ever. So
Right.
it's
Right.
great. It's more of like a check-in that during the session, if we're noticing if you want to try something different, we have that board there to ask him. So it's
Mhm.
been amazing, and the therapists are just wowed.
That's awesome. I love that. What would you say are some of the biggest misconceptions that people have about non-speaking individuals?
The intelligence factor, I feel like, just I don't think people are presuming competence. I think
Mhm.
they believe that if someone can't speak, that they don't hear and they don't know sort of how to, and it's tricky. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's like they
Yeah.
have ears, they have eyes, they hear and see everything. So I think people are going to be surprised by what their child knows.
Yeah, yeah, and also I would imagine just people move at such a quick pace, stopping because this is going to take a little bit longer to get his thoughts out, right? How do you kind of let people to slow down and embrace that and let him have a chance to use his voice?
I just sort of tell them, this is how he communicates, and you need a minute to sort of just let him get his thoughts out. And everyone's been so supportive. It's been amazing.
So your school took it on. Have you had any difficulties with accessibility with it or just kind of integrating it into his routine?
I homeschool now. It was just by choice.
Okay.
I found that the school system is very tricky. Yeah, it was just not working. Yeah, they teach at a very, especially when they group these kids in a classroom where they're teaching them, the ABCs. Meanwhile, you're like, he can write a book. Like, it's just,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, it became very, it was hard. Like I mean, I try as much as I can to advocate, and I will continue to do so, but I feel like it's better, his time is better spent at home working on therapy and being homeschooled.
So where do you guys see SpellRBoard coming in the next 5 years?
Um,
Where's your son envision it, or where do you envision it?
I mean, we want to help we want to change the world one letter at a time. That's kind of what we
Yeah.
say. We just
Mhm.
believe that, like, we want everyone to have a voice, and everyone deserves to be heard. And it
Mhm.
would be wonderful to have it in everyone's hands that needs it.
Um, any advice that you could give to parents that are just kind of starting out on this AAC device journey?
I think patience is a
Mhm.
key. I feel with most people, something we
Mhm.
lack. And just believing in your child,
Mhm.
believing that they know more, even if they can't show you at that time. They see everything and they hear everything, and they're in
Mhm.
there. They're just stuck. And we have to find, and this is a way for them to get out. Is it okay if I read you something that Jesse had spelled?
Please.
So he
Please.
wrote he watched, there was a documentary called, I believe it's Michaela's Voice on Netflix. And after he watched it, it's a girl using a letterboard. And I asked him his opinion on it and sort of what his thoughts were. So he said, we are underestimated. Living in silence is no longer an option. We are smart, kind, loving humans, and we will show the world what we are capable of, one letter at a time. People, watch out. We are building an army, and no one is getting in our way.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
That's
these are
amazing.
this is the kind of stuff here. It's incredible.
Did you just ball?
Yeah.
I did too.
Every time we spell, like, and he'll give like advice to friends, and it's so deep and so
So
meaningful.
deep and thoughtful.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just and it's so like he articulates so beautifully. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm so happy that you reached out to me, first of all, and I love what you're doing. And I definitely will share this across everything that I can. And I will talk to my own speech therapist about it at the clinic as well.
Mhm.
We always trial AAC devices, and I know that they know of letterboards too, but
I love
yours
that.
is cheap, that it's just such a affordable way for a family to try something and not have this huge investment.
Exactly. That was
Yeah.
our one of our goals too. So I
Mhm.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes. Well, please keep us posted on anything new that you guys have in the works.
I will for sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really appreciate you being on today.